trade. We have a trade to announce, and it's not the Marner one yet. No, this one's done. This one's like actually done. It's for a guy. And allow me to say this for, I think, the first time. The Toronto Maple Leafs have made a trade with the Utah Mammoth. I think it's a cool name. I don't care. I think it's a cool logo too. I don't care even more. Utah Hockey Club. It was always terrible. I'll die on that hill. Anyway, the Toronto Maple Leafs trade a conditional third round draft pick to the Utah Mammoth for Matias Maccelli. What are the conditions? They're ridiculous. Honest to goodness, this is some of the most ridiculous conditions I've ever seen on a trade. From Greg Wyshynski, the return of Maccelli is a conditional third round selection in 2027. Should Toronto earn a playoff berth and Maccelli records at least 51 points in the 2025-26 season, the pick is converted to a second round selection in 2029. If he does score 51 points, you're probably not all that upset about giving up a second rounder for a 24-year-old who can score. But you are going to have to remind yourself why the Leafs don't have a second round pick in 2029. 2026, 27, 28, that is 4 drafts from now, and it's almost 5 drafts from now. So, is he good? That's a great question, but not the most important one. For the Italian community, I know you're asking, is he? I'm happy to report, kind of. As a half Italian myself, I feel like I can say kind of. According to his Wikipedia page, which is always just bulletproof sourcing. It's great journalism. Maccelli was born to an American-born mother and Finnish father in Turku, Finland. His mother had moved to Finland when she was 7 years old. Maccelli is of Italian descent through his maternal great-grandfather, who was from Italy. And when I click on the links to read the article, they are both in Finnish. So you're just gonna have to take their word for it. They're very Finnish words for it. So kiitos for that. So already an interesting story with this guy. I will admit, I was kind of invested in his career early on. He was budding into a really impressive young player. Admittedly, I didn't watch every Utah Mammoth game or Utah HC game last year, kind of out of protest of their silly name. I'll watch them now. They have a name now. But a rocky career. Get a load of this. Drafted in the 4th round, 98th overall in 2019. I don't know how he fell that far, because with the Dubuque Fighting Saints of the USHL, he had 31 goals, 41 assists, 72 points in 62 games. That is very good. Did he lead his team in scoring? Yes, by 22 points. Fun fact, former Leaf pick JD Greenway was also on that team. And he did not have nearly as many points despite being drafted 3 years prior. Then, as is the case for just so many unfortunate draft picks from that era, the COVID seasons that were shortened on the back end and the front end. He goes and plays his first 2 professional seasons in 2019-20 and in 2020-2021 in Finland, where he played for Ilves. 30 points in 43 games and 39 points in 51 games. And from a Finnish listener or subscriber of SDPN and of my channel, we actually have a little bit of insight on his time with Ilves, including this picture that I'm going to use constantly of Pizzeria Maccelli. Here's what Tia told me. I saw Toronto acquired Matias Maccelli, so here's a fun tidbit. They called him Pizzeria Maccelli in Ilves and even had t-shirts made for that nickname. That's the pick. The nickname was because he was always giving nice passes right to someone, and in Finnish, they get called, I'm just going to put the word on the screen, Lattisotsioto, sure, which relates to pizza by it occasionally being called latte. See, it's a Y, so is it lattu? Is it lattu? I think it's lattu. Now, it might have had something to do with him also having Italian roots, but I like that story with the long word. It's better. In 21-22, he comes over to the AHL with the Tucson Roadrunners, kills it. In 47 games, just 14 goals, but 43 assists, nearly an assist per game, 57 points. Led that team by 10 points. And he had a couple cups of coffee in the NHL that season as well. His first full season in 22-23. Whoa. In 64 games, 11 goals, 38 assists, 49 points in 64 games. That is a legitimately fantastic rookie season by any standard. The following season, he built on that, granted in more games. 17 goals, 40 assists, reached the 40 assist plateau, 57 points in a fully healthy 82-game season. This is a guy in his early 20s. He is already putting up 50-plus points, 40-plus assists. This is a guy you build around. This is the future of the Coyotes. What? Oh, sorry, they're gone now. It's difficult to tell exactly what happened during the transition from his time at the Coyotes to his time with the Mammoth in Utah, but Maccelli fell off and fell off hard. In 55 games, just 8 goals and 10 assists for 18 points, not to mention a bunch of healthy scratches, which is somewhat concerning on account of the Leafs just got him and his $3.425 million contract. This is a bet from the Leafs that not only will he return to form, but he will not beat 18 points. Holy cow. If he ends up being what he was last year, this deal is no good. Like, even at the low cost of a third-round pick, you're getting him hoping you give up that 2029 LOL draft pick. Now, throwing it out there, who is one of the Leafs' assistant general managers? Now, I know that's a bit of a loaded question on account of they have like 16. Shane Doan! Shane Doan, Coyotes legend, who was in the Coyotes front office and would have seen him quite a bit. Shane Doan, who is the father of a young Coyotes player who did very well on the Coyotes early in his career and is now no longer on the Utah hockey team. That's Josh Doan. He's on the Sabres now. We don't like him now. You don't have to tell Shane that, but he knows. He knows. So that is very likely a wholehearted endorsement from Shane Doan. You would think. Otherwise, why on earth would they give up a real asset for a player who had 18 points last year and makes nearly $3.5 million? He is listed at 5'11", 185. People are calling it small-ish. I disagree. Like, we're all in Brad Trelivingville now. That is small by Brad Treliving standards. I think that's bang average overall. And the reason you put up with that is if he ends up putting up 40 assists a season. Now, why would the Leafs go out and make a trade for a playmaking winger and, yeah, no, they're losing Mitch Marner. This actually kind of makes sense. So wait, do they think this guy who had 18 points last season is going to play in the top 6 with either Matthews or Tavares? Not going to lie to you, kind of sounds likely. Now, the analytics nerds like him. Here's one of the nerds. Look at what the nerds said. They like his nerd stuff. Here, show another one of the nerds, Drew. Look at all the nerds. Look at the nerds. But it's good when the nerds embrace a Leafs decision because the Leafs are, I mean, they have nerds. They certainly have nerds. But they run the team like a bunch of jocks. So it would appear that the nerds are endorsing a decision made by a front office of jocks. Matias Maccelli could really be the perfect marriage between nerds and jocks. It's also the Leafs getting business done before July 1st, which I find surprising. There's rumors out there of them going out and trying to get beef, like Tanner Jeannot, and Michael Bezzetta's name was also out there. The Mangiapane stuff, you're not hearing quite as much. The Brad Marchand stuff, I mustn't let myself dream. Or if he makes $9 million, have a nightmare. We'll find out in a few hours. But this is a fascinating bet for me, and I'd love to know what you think about this bet. And what do you think I'm going to make a video on next in a couple hours, because it sounds like Steven Lorentz might get done, a Marner trade might get done. You're going to want to listen to the Chris Johnston show that was uploaded this morning. It's crazy. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Subscribe to SDPN. We are going to be all over everything going on over the next gosh knows how long through free agency. We're going to be making videos all day tomorrow, and we're going to have a stream once it all calms down around dinner time. And for now, just pull up and have a nice little slice at the Maccelli Pizzeria.